Hi there, welcome to Improve Your Voice. My name's Darren McStay, and today I want to talk a little bit about accents and diction and articulation. I've been contacted over the last couple of years by many people asking different questions about their accent, about my accent, how you can lose your accent and find a different one. And after reading all these and quite often replying to them, I do wonder why anyone would want to get rid of their accent. I myself am from East London, and over the years I've softened the edges of the way I sound. So today I'm going to try and put your mind at ease about your accent and your articulation, and when and where maybe you should be using them, maybe you could tone it down. But ultimately, I want you to be confident in your own skin. I want you to feel comfortable, and I don't want anyone to lose their accent. I don't want anyone to sound like they're not who they really are. I see it so often in the acting world, and some people want to sound like something they're not, which is a bit of a shame, really. I've been there myself in the past, but I've pulled myself back again, and I'm really proud to sound the way I do, because I'm the only person in the world that sounds like me, and that's why I'm unique, and that's why you're unique, because you sound the way you do. Now, before we get into the lesson, I'm just going to mention for those who are new here that I do have a comprehensive 8-week vocal training course which builds up and teaches you up to 60 exercises over the course of 8 weeks, all designed to better your instrument, your body, and make it the best vocal performing instrument you can possibly have. And all you need to do is watch the videos and follow the exercises that I set day by day. Okay? If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description box below. There's also a link in the profile banner on my channel. So, you believe that your accent is getting in the way of people understanding you. I highly doubt it. Being someone who's worked professionally using my voice as both a singer and an actor, I understand that different mediums require different things from you. For example, here on the camera, I don't really over-articulate, and you can hear my accent. It's probably a lot stronger here than it would be if I saw you in person or if I'm teaching a lesson in an auditorium, because in those circumstances, I really need to slow down and articulate nearly every word so nothing gets missed. Now, I've still got my accent, but I just articulate the words I used. And on here, on the camera, generally I don't over-articulate because it sounds false and makes me sound a bit weird. It's just the type of style you use for camera. Again, on voiceovers, if you over-articulate, it sounds weird. But let's say you've got a strong accent like I used to have, and you find that it's not necessarily the articulation, but it's the accent itself is quite strong. But what we do in the acting world, we have a base accent that we go to before we move to others. And by somehow going closer towards this base accent, you will find that you'll be able to soften your accent a little more and probably be understood by more people. So, what is it? Okay, it's called RP, otherwise known as received pronunciation. It's like newsreader English, but you see, you have newsreader English in England, you have newsreader English in America, you have newsreader English in Australia, Europe, and in fact, any English-speaking country that has the news in English, they're using their own version of RP. It's just basically the most simplest way that you can speak in order to be understood by the majority. 3 things. 1, if a word ends in a T, you pronounce the T. Now, here's an example of this. In my own accent, if I say the word apartment, it sounds like this, apartment. You can't hear the T's, apartment. It sounds like apartment. But if I were to be speaking on stage, I'd say apartment. However, for the camera, I try and find somewhere in between, apartment. But often I'll say apartment and you'd understand me. Probably because you've been listening to me for long enough now. So concentrating on T's and making sure you pronounce every one that should be pronounced is really going to help you be clearer and understood no matter where you're from. The second thing you can do is consider where your air placement comes from. And by that I mean people send air in different places. In Australia, apparently they throw the air through the nose. And in Scotland, apparently they keep it back here. They don't really throw the air out, they try to swallow it. But we're not here to do accents, and I haven't practiced them, so those were terrible. But my point is, if you can try to consider and discover where it is you put the air to, and then try to change it so every time you speak, you send the air just behind your top teeth. There's an area behind the top teeth called the gum ridge. Try and use your tongue now and feel it. It's like a little bump. If you follow the roof of your mouth with your tongue, there's a little bump just before your teeth. That is called the gum ridge. And that is where I want you to consider, even if you don't know how to do it, but I want you to consider sending the air to that place as you speak. Another one we can think about is finishing our sentences and our words on a strong note, so we don't tail off at the end. Some people start with a lot of air, but they get to the end of the major, and it goes down like that. Or sometimes people start and they end up strong, or maybe like that. But we need to be strong from the beginning right to the end if we want to hear everything clearly, articulately, and crisply. And a way to do this is imagine that you're speaking through a tube like this, and the sound is going straight down and doesn't stop until it hits the listener. If the tube goes down like that, it might just disappear. We don't want it to do that. We want to keep it straight forward and keep the air flowing through this tube until the sentence or word has finished. It won't work for everybody, but you should understand that getting to the end of your words and not tailing off is very important. One easy way to help you with that is to take more air before you speak. So hopefully now you can use T's and K's to mark the ends of words. You can direct air to the gum ridge behind your top teeth just to direct your words more forward with your air placement. And you don't tail off at the end. You get to the end of the sentence. If you do these 3 things, you won't need to lose your accent, but you will be greater understood by more people, and that's what we want. Of course, unless it is for camera or for voiceovers, and that's slightly different. But this is more for live speaking or singing or performance in general. So there's some interesting ideas for you. Hopefully it made sense. Of course, knowing these things is great, but you really need to be doing this daily. And like I said before, I have an online course if you really want to better yourself and get up there, get ahead of the game. And if that is what you want, then do visit the link to my online course and see what's on offer. If you haven't checked out any of the old videos, go back through them. There's so much information there that could really help you out and help better your voice already. And if you want to be informed of all the new ones coming up, then hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and maybe share it with someone you feel might benefit. I've been Darren McStay, this is Improve Your Voice, and until the next time, look after your voice.